Do whatever you can, what is in your power and ability. Do it. Don't wait. People need it.
Hi guys, welcome to Middle-Aged Millennial MILF Podcast. Today we have a very special episode. I have a very impressive guest. You may be familiar with her if you've watched Wild Wild Country on Netflix. It is Ma Sheela. She was Bhagwan's secretary, which I hate even saying that because really she was the main inspiration for the movement. And when I watched Wild Wild Country, I kept looking at my husband and being like, well, I'm still on their side. Everything they're saying is valid. I understand. I kept waiting for this flip that I knew was supposed to happen because of how it was described, and it never did. I understood completely in practicing meditation. I understood what they were doing, why they were doing it, and honestly, how they were pushed, and how if there wouldn't have been the racism and wanting to keep them out, this would not have spiraled out of control. Because the movement was really beautiful and it was just something that people didn't understand. Once again, this is my opinion. This is what I took from it. And anytime I share this, this is never you're wrong because of my opinion. I genuinely don't want to offend people, but I also have very strong feelings about things. And I'm always going to be honest and share them with you. I'm not going to toe the line because I don't want to offend someone, because I also don't want to mislead people and make them think that I'm anything, but I'm not. I am who I am. I believe what I believe. I also respect what you are and what you believe. So once again, if anything I ever say offends you, it's not meant to. I just feel very strongly. Honestly, I just popped out of my mom's vagina knowing exactly who the fuck I was, exactly what I believed in. And that has not changed after 40 years. And also, I am a mama bear. And once I decide that I love you and I care about you, you are in. And I will defend you with everything that I have because you are a part of my family. And the people that I'm having on this podcast are people that I care about. Even if it's just Ma Sheela, someone I've never met, I watched. I genuinely care about them and their story and what they want to say. And I feel like we got one side of the story with that documentary, Wild Wild Country. And I think that, especially in today's climate, where it's funny because we've gone backwards and she has moved so forwards, but these things have been happening for hundreds, thousands of years. And we're not special. We had it happen in the past. We're still here. We will still be here after this. But I think that we all just need a little hope right now, and also inspiration, looking for some inspiration about how to go at these next 4 years and what we're going to want to say. Because I will be the first to admit it. I was very on the left. This is right. You are wrong. I was on the algorithm where I was getting this and this and this, and this was a big rude awakening for me. Not in a way that it was fuck around and find out. I don't like that. This was, wow, there are a lot of different perspectives that I have not thought about. I was very much on the one side thinking I was right and I was valid. And I don't regret my vote. I still stand behind all that, but I think that us just making it us against them continually, this is not going to bring our country together. And whether or not we agree with the other person's vote, I think that we owe it to them to find out why they felt that way and what they need in their lives and why they're feeling this way. But clearly just shaming them and telling them that they are this and that, that's not working. That's not bringing us together. Because if anything, we unified people in how much we excluded them. And that was wrong of us. And like I said, I will be the first to admit it. And that, I think, is really what it's all about, too, is not just getting mad and blaming people, but it's kind of being curious. That's a word that my Dr. Voss always uses. You know, I love my therapist. But just being curious and really trying to find out, because I am in this ivory tower and fucking Gilbert, Arizona, my, fancy ass neighborhood. I am white privilege personified. There are a lot of different people in this world. And of course, I was in a place to be like, oh, the world should be a better place because things are so great for me. But there are people that the world is not great for, and they want that. And honestly, everybody deserves that, the pursuit of happiness. And I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to be optimistic and hope that no matter what happens, we can come together again. Because being a 90s kid, I genuinely miss that feeling of pride. And that even after 9/11, we all came together so much. And seeing COVID and the elections really just tear us apart, it breaks my heart because I thought that we would be further along. When we were young and we were promised, the working 80s ladies, and we've just gone so backwards. And I just want us to find a way forward where everyone can find some happiness and peace. It doesn't have to be my way. And I learned that, but I do feel like we need to come together. Bottom line, it's a scary time. All we have is each other. And I really feel like if we come together, we can get through this. I'm not going to have a bitching with a bitch this week because my guest is so special that I just want to launch right into it. I do want to make sure that we all remember Hemlock by Kirsten Modulin. That is our book of the month. I want to make sure that we're all picking it up and reading it. I know I am. I cannot wait to have her on as my guest. Like I said, she's the Taylor Swift of indies. She is amazing. And we're not just building up women here. We are building up men, but girl power. So without further ado, I want to introduce the magnificent Ma Sheela. It is such an honor to have you on today. You don't even know. I have been telling everyone how excited I am to have a chance to talk to you and honestly just hear your perspective. I feel like I've heard your story from so many different avenues that in my opinion, I don't think were authentic. I don't think they were truly how you felt or truly was your story. And honestly, I feel like your story was always framed around a man, and kind of what you did to help him, when I really feel like the real story was how you lifted people up and your vision. And that's really what's important for me to share with my friends and my listeners, because honestly, I can't even tell you, watching you and just hearing you talk and feeling such a kindred spirit in that, and another kick-ass woman who wasn't going to let anyone tell her what to do. And I just loved that. And honestly, it just made me mad to see, like, I'm wild, wild country, all that.
I fully understand you. I fully understand you. Yet, I think Wild Wild Country has done a great service to me without wanting to offer me that service. They put out my story more with relevance, and they actually made the world aware of the dedication and devotion that I worked with. And it is so in love. You only are dedicated.
Well, and what do you wish that they really showed? Like, what was something that you would have wanted to see?
I didn't want to see anything in that sense, but what they did, they made their audience aware of my dedication, and that was not their purpose.
Right, and that makes total sense.
Right. And that is like they thought they were going to present something else, But it didn't work out for them. Existence did not allow them to do it.
Well, and then I also read that you were interested in doing your own documentary.
This is true. I was interested in doing it. Bollywood had the rights to do it, but they haven't found the financing for doing it as story. I don't personally know Bollywood, how they function, but I wouldn't want to get mixed up with them, you know.
I don't blame you.
But I feel that that story will come out when existence plans that story has to come out. I'm not bothered.
Well, I really feel like your story, though, is so relevant right now because if you look at the state of the USA right now, in my opinion, in 40 years, we are worse than we were off then. And
I fully agree.
And the fact that you have evolved into this beautiful person who is living this wonderful life. And it's funny that you were the bad one. You were the one that was going to do this and that. When, if you look at the facts, I'm friends with an FBI agent, and I told him I was interviewing you. And he said, "Oh, read my chapter on groupthink, this and that." And I read it, and I was like, this wasn't them. Like, that's what makes, this was a beautiful movement. You know what I mean? It wasn't groupthink. This wasn't people that were convinced of stuff. In fact, when reading the groupthink, it reminded me of other religions, not this. You know what I mean? And it's kind of when people are so close, they can't see it. And I think that it was something that they couldn't quantify, and it wasn't normal to them. And so they attacked you.
The outside world had stereotype vision, stereotype ability to analyze. But something other that is in another way creative, they cannot accept. They have their values and they reject others' values.
And that's it exactly, because what they were accusing you was of having not separation of church and state. I'm sorry, we're the furthest. They're having the 10 Commandments in Oklahoma. You know what I mean? It's the separation of your church and their state, not the separation of church and state, singular.
I understand what you're saying. And what is happening now in America, I see it after 40 years. Same thing happening to America, what happened to us, where they are rejecting democracy in the way. And not only that, they are doing it backhanded. They are not straight. Trump was never straight. His whole party is not straight. Republicans then were crooked, and they are still crooked, and now they know the game of how to run the crooked affairs.
And that is it in a nutshell. And it's really disheartening because, like I said, I've gotten into meditation in 2022, and then watching you, I understood on a different level. And I think that people that haven't expanded and looked inside can't understand that true freedom that you guys had, because they're told, follow the rules, you do this and that, instead of it's all inside of you.
But they didn't even give us the rules.
No. Well, that's and
you know what I mean. They would have given us options to deal with our situation. We would have found the right solution for it. This was a highly intelligent community we were living in.
And you can see it when you listen to the people talking. This was not manipulation. This was not anything like that. This was highly intelligent people that understood the movement. And I could be wrong, but I think if they would have just left you and let you have your town, nothing would have happened. It would have been fine.
But they are the attackers, and they blame the attacked.
Of course, that's how they've been doing it for thousands of years. You know?
You're right. You're right. I agree fully with you.
And it does. I'm sorry. It just makes me so mad because I was born in 1984. So around the time. And I feel like we were promised a better world. I really do. I feel like we were told, women were progressing and this and that. The fact that we're so ass backwards when the answer seems so clear, if people would just open their eyes.
And now they want women to go back to 1600, 1700. It is, how do their intellect justify that? Is remarkable for me. It's amazing.
I truly believe it was because you were a strong woman that they went after you that much. They could not understand the equality and the fact that you could lead people, because clearly we don't trust women to lead in this country.
I don't understand. I don't understand myself. And I had this fearlessness because of my father. My father was a freedom fighter against British Empire. He was one of the trusted lieutenant of Gandhi.
So you had it in your blood. This was coursing through you.
Exactly. But, what happened in retrospect now, when I see it, it shows me my strength still there, because in spite of they try to destroy me from both ends, I still exist. And I created my own creation of homes. They function. And my parents saw how I worked. Bhagwan, I don't know if he has seen my work or not, but it doesn't matter. He knows my ability. Otherwise, he would not have chosen me as his secretary. He was no dummy.
Well, and honestly, I'm sure for him, a light just shone right down on you. You are pure ability and inspiration.
If I don't inspire, I won't feel inspired myself. And I need my inspiration to exist.
Well, it keeps us fearless women powered up. We need that. What's next for you? What's your next big thing that you want to put out in this world?
I think what I have put out already represents Bhagwan's idea of future, that we belong as a community together, harmoniously coexisting with one another. So that was Bhagwan's concept when we created Rajneeshpuram in Oregon. And it is still valid concept for future. And I live with this concept here in Switzerland. I have selected my community with people in need, physical, mental, and psychological need. And it is also something future needs. Even today, people need it to help people who are underprivileged or with bodily or mentally. They need some support, some help. And we can exist and coexist together. Here in my community, I have 15 different nationalities, 15 different set of religions, or 15 different traditions, languages we live here. And we have been coexisting for the last 34 years.
That's huge. That's the ultimate goal.
Exactly. We are there for them and they are there for us. And between my residents and my team, we are around 55 people.
Well, and you guys also get the concept. With meditation, we're taught what the ultimate learning is, that we're all the same. We're all the same molecules. We're all the same this and that. And by you having a community like that, you're truly living that. That's the goal. And I just think it's so funny that these things that are told to us that are good, if you think about it, they separate us. We're good, they're bad. We're going to heaven, they're going to hell, and that's not why we're here whatsoever, is not to push people away. It's like you said, to bring them together, to find your community.
Exactly. And take care of them, and they will take care of you.
Well, exactly. It's like the best managers, you want them to move on because you're empowering them. You're empowering these people.
Exactly. And we are government acknowledged, so there are no issues there. We do our work. We are happy to live here. And you feel that there is a harmony here. I have strangers come visit me from all walks of life, and they say something different here. And I say, yes, the base of this institute is the love. I created this institute for my mother, father, and this home is named Matrusadan in honor of mother, and other building is named Bapusadan in honor of father. I wanted them to die peacefully because they had lived my crisis while I was in prison, and I didn't want them to die feeling that one of their child is not doing well. So I had to get back on my feet and show to them, not worry, you go when you have to go. In peace. Yeah. And so these are two monuments of love here. And monument Rajneeshpuram in honor of Bhagwan is in Oregon. It was in Oregon. I don't know what they have now, but
it does matter. It is. They have Christian summer camps there.
They do.
They have the absolute worst. It is just spitting. I read that and I stomped around. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. They kicked this beautiful community, which you've been running for 34 years there. You could have had that there. But what you've done, this is exactly what you wanted to do there. This was your vision. You're living it. There's nothing insidious about this.
We would have all gotten all together there. Because I'm 75 now.
Oh, you don't look a day over 40.
You're being too kind now.
No.
Sarah, you are really making me feel good now.
Well, that's the truth. I went through some hard times, and after that, I wanted to make sure that everybody felt special and good, because that's kind of what I wanted to dedicate my life to. I mean, it's a podcast, it's not brain surgery, but people should feel good. Everyone has something good in them. Everyone has something, and they should feel special.
And I can prove that here. It is so tangible with my community to feel that.
And that's what you could have had here. And who knows what that could have grown into. You know, it's just a shame. I'm glad that you have that there, and honestly that it's a safe place, because this was not a safe place for you to thrive. That soil was just poison.
Maybe things will change and it will again begin to sprout. Who knows?
Hopefully. I think we're in for a rough
4 years.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was not expecting. I'm an optimist. We got this, guys. Everybody wants to come together. Everybody wants a better world, right? And then I was like, no, people just really care about how much they're fucking paying for eggs. Okay.
And the billionaires are talking about how much they can store up.
The rich get richer.
Right.
I mean, we were celebrating a healthcare man being assassinated, which I think the healthcare system here is a joke. So they want to keep, that's what I was going to say. They want to keep people on the hamster wheel here. They want you to have the job with the health insurance so you can pay for that. And then they give you the pills, and they just keep them on this hamster wheel thinking that they're going to get ahead, and they just never do. And I feel like movements like yours kind of pull you off of the hamster wheel and say, there's a different way that you can move forward.
And whatever little we can do for others, we do it without even thinking about it or bragging about it. It is the nature. You give and take. You just offer. Nature is so generous.
Well, and gratitude. I think that you probably practice gratitude regularly. You can just tell. Because I think that when even just saying it out loud, something good happens. Oh, thank you, universe. And then you kind of just see how lucky you are. I think it's so easy to focus on the negatives when there's so many positives. Even look at you. You were dealt a raw fucking deal. You were railroaded. You were. I will fucking go to my grave saying this. I don't care who comes at me about this. This is how I feel. You were railroaded, and it's fucking bullshit. And you're still wanting to help people. You did not let that turn you. You did not let that break you.
No. They tried hard, but
fuck them. They weren't doing shit to you, and you know it. You took it. You're like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. Okay. And then you went and you lived your dream, and you're like, I'll make it happen somewhere else. And that, I think, is the true story that they're not sharing, is the inspiration of you and what you are able to accomplish.
But you're doing it today.
That's fucking right. I will go have a fucking parade through the streets. Like, I'll be a one-woman champion for you at this point. I
thank you.
I know. You're like, I never thought a redhead from Arizona would be my champion, but here we are.
I thank you.
Of course. I thank you. You honestly, this was such an honor, and you did not have to do this whatsoever. And the fact that you were even willing to give me your time, which is so valuable.
But this was the right thing. Look, you are promoting me.
Well, I just love you. I'm just sharing my love for you.
Oh, Sarah, thank you. Thank you. How can I thank you?
You just love me back. I will fucking come to Switzerland. I will absolutely come to Switzerland. Are you kidding me? We will come. Like I said, even just through this, your energy, you don't even understand how amazing you are and how you just feel that goodness. And I do. I'm a fighter. I'm a mama bear. And if you go after my kin, I don't take well to that.
I fully understand. That is how I was in Oregon. And that is how I am when it comes to my people.
Well, because you have to be, because they've entrusted you, because you're the strong one. You're the one that can make the hard decisions. And not everyone can do that. That is a really admirable quality. So are we just living out our time in Switzerland?
This is my home now. Yeah. I travel around when people invite me to come and do a podcast or an event. Then I go around. And then I return back here because my bed is here. And, now 75-year-old, my body is, luckily I can walk and talk and everything, but it has age-related issues. But no big deal, I survive. And now I prepare myself for my next journey, big journey, final journey, whenever that comes my way.
Well, I'm hoping for you. I think this is your last go around. I don't know what else you could have accomplished. I think you're going to hit God consciousness this time, unity, all that.
I live it to life, what life wants to do with me.
Well, and that's so beautiful. That's like a leaf in the river, that's just kind of going downstream. And
without any wishes, without anything, it's time to go, then go.
And that's, I think, all anybody can ask for is you feel like you accomplished what you were here for.
What I could, I have done, honestly.
Well, and above, I feel like you've really done everything you could. And I think that to the detriment of yourself, you put others above you as well. And that's not a quality that people, I saw that they said brash and crass, and any strong woman is, because we're not saying what they want us to say. And you put everybody above you, like a normal woman, you put everybody above you, put yourself last.
And truth is rude. And if we are going to live life of truthfulness, then not only you have to say the truth, you have to accept the truth.
And I just think that people don't have the capacity for that. And I don't know what that means for them.
People prefer to use euphemism and not real, not look at the rawness of one's existence.
Because it's not always pretty, and it's not a nice little story that they put in a book. This is humanity, and it's messy, and I also do not understand the people that have a problem with cussing. Like, what the hell is that? They're just words. It's a word, fuck. Like, they're the same thing. Why is there's this negative connotation on it? I really wonder if it's a control thing or what, but
it is. People they want to look pretty, but you can't just look pretty with words, because reality is not pretty.
And they don't want to. So here's a prime. I'll tell you one story and then I'll let you go because your time is valuable. But I went to a rally and got a pussy power flag. And I put cats on it. But I put it up in my neighborhood, which is a very white Republican neighborhood. And I just kind of was making a statement, and it was amazing to, well, it wasn't amazing to me, but it was right on brand. The people that were attacking it on the neighborhood Facebook, and I'm a deviant and don't let your kids go trick-or-treating here. And even people that were like, well, I think it's a protest. They were attacking them. And it was just seeing the ugly come out. And all my neighbors, nobody outed me too. People knew it was mine. Nobody said that was Sarah's. Anybody that knew me came up and said, I'm so sorry. That was awful, the things you were saying. I said, all they did was tell everyone who they were. They didn't say a word about me.
And they proved it with their behavior.
And they fucking do every time. You know they do. But we're the bad guys. We're the deviants. We're the crass. They could have said, there were cats on this flag. They didn't have to explain what it meant. They could have said, oh, and it was Halloween too. They could have been like, oh, they love cats. They're choosing to explain it. They're choosing to do that to their children, not me.
When we were constructing Rajneeshpuram, they put Christian poster, dead to you, or Jesus saves you, or whatever. I can't even remember some of the ugly posters they used to put on our road. It is so obscene to say word pussies if they find obscene, but they don't find obscene their own actions.
No, because they think they are right.
Right.
And also it's that you weren't asking them all to join. You were building your nirvana. You weren't like, oh, come, please join. No, you just wanted to be in peace. They are the ones that are trying to recruit people.
Right.
My in-laws, I love them, but they went over on a mission to hand out Bibles in a Muslim country. They were using aliases. Like, I'm sorry, what the fuck is that? I hope they don't listen, but what the fuck is that? Like, that's not honest. That's not. If you look at cults and you look at Christianity, there are a lot more in common than your movement. No offense to Christians. God bless you if that's what you believe, but fucking see it for what it is. It's a pyramid scheme, plain and simple. Money, 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 money.
And I'm fully in agreement with your frustration of these people. Hypocrisy.
Yes. My mother was not right about a lot, but that was something that was taught to me very young because my grandmother was very Catholic and she was the worst person you've ever met. And my mom just would always say, you know, Sarah, the ones that are up front in church on Sunday, they're not living it. They're the hypocrites. And as I grew up, I saw that. And I tried to be a Christian for my husband's family. I was like, yeah, Jesus. Yep. Yeah, like, I didn't feel it. And I know you know what I mean. When you don't feel that and you're told you should feel this, it's like the emperor's new clothes where you're like, well, everybody believes it. So I guess I should too.
Sarah, I'm enjoying your frustration because you're saying it's so plain and so clear. And I think more women needs to do it, more men needs to support women, talk about it.
That's it. And it's not, like I said, however you want to live your life is fine. But when you are the ones that are telling everyone else how to live your life, but we're not allowed to be critical of yours, that's hypocrisy right there.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
I just wish people would see there's a different way. You know, I was talking to our TM teacher last night and talking about how meditation could help with prisoners. And I think that I really want to take it to rehab centers and stuff and just see how that could help people, and that there was a different way in the system that we're playing with. And honestly, like I said, you really inspired me.
Do whatever you can, what is in your power and ability. Do it. Don't wait. People need it. And a lot of people are suffering for their own doing or others' doing, doesn't matter. They are suffering. And we have to help them in a manner that they don't feel that they're being imposed or so.
You get it. They just didn't want to listen. They weren't ready. So we'll just keep banging this drum until they're ready to hear. But we're not going away.
No, we are living on Earth. They haven't figured out these spaceships yet that they can send us out.
We'll start our own damn thing. We don't want them anyway.
You're so right. You're so right.
Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. It has been so nice. Nice isn't even the word. This has fucking made my life, Ma. You don't even know. You don't even know.
Sarah, you are healing my wounds, though they are fairly healed, but you are putting nice salve on it, nice cream on it.
Well, anytime you need a cheerleader, you know how to get a hold of me. I'm
Now
always
I
in a
know.
good, that's it. I'm here for you. Whatever you need. If somebody's coming after you, I'll go after them. I don't care. There are very few people's opinions in the world that matter to me. And yours is probably one of them. Your opinion matters. But most people, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Why am I going to listen to them? I don't want to live their life.
I understand. I understand fully. And it is my honor to be talking to you. You know, I live fairly isolated here too. I don't want to get involved with people. And I didn't know I have supporters like you around.
Well, that's what I told everyone I reached out. They're like, you reached out. I was like, yeah, the worst she's going to do is not respond. But I had these feelings that I needed you to know. You know what I mean? Wherever you were,
Right.
I wanted you to know that people were watching this and loving you and seeing what you really meant and not being tricked by what they were trying to tell us.
And this is what this film, Wild Wild Country, has offered me without knowing. Without knowing. That was not their agenda.
No, it sure fucking wasn't. I kept waiting. I'm like, I'm still on their side. When is this going to turn that I'm not on their side anymore? Like, it never flipped for me.
I thank you.
Well, and like I said, anything you ever need, I am here. I will definitely make a trip to Switzerland. That is definitely on the list.
That bucket list doesn't have a hole and Switzerland falls out.
No, that is there. Switzerland is already in there. You and Switzerland, and seeing this beautiful world you've created that you're living. So I can come and be like, she fucking did it. We didn't want to listen. She did it. Thanks. This could have been us. But of course, we're behind. Okay.
And now she's old and she's going to one day disappear.
You'll never disappear. Your legacy will live on forever. And I just hope that as time goes on, history realizes what they did to you and what you were truly trying to accomplish and what they kept from the world. All right. Well, I will let you. It's so beautiful. I will let you go enjoy your evening.
Yes, it will. See, today's sun has not shined. It is on 3:30 now, 3:40, and it's becoming dark. And in another half an hour, it will be dark, between 4:30.
Well, you go enjoy that sun.
Right.
This is perfect.
There is no sun. Sun is hiding.
Well, go enjoy those beautiful clouds while you can. Let the sun shine on your beautiful face. And tonight when you go to bed, just know that you are loved and that your story is received and people will get it. Your legacy is beautiful.
I will remember what you're saying.
Yes, as I mean it.
Before I go to sleep, I will remember.
Yes. You are amazing and you are powerful and your legacy is beautiful. And we will make sure we keep it that way.
Amen.
Amen. All right. I will see you later. You go get some rest. Enjoy your time.
Okay. I will do that, Saya.
Thank
Lots
you.
of love.
Bye. Thank you so
good
much.
Health.
Yes, you too. Wow, that was amazing. I can't even share how amazing that was. So I want to thank all of you for listening today or watching. And hopefully this really builds you up and makes you feel good. And don't forget, guys, to make today your bitch.